Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for the Nanya. You can find all the lessons on ablestudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 math and then click on view all lessons. Here you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter direct and inverse variation. The lessons we're going to cover today are right direct variation equations, right and solve direct variation equations, right and solve inverse variation equations, and identify proportional relationships. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definition as well. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 9 math. The chapter we are on right now is direct and inverse variation. Let's just start with the lesson that is right direct variation equations. In a direct variation, y equals 16 when x equals 8. Write a direct variation equation that shows a relationship between x and y. So we need to write down the equation. We have to find the k actually, right? The k is in the direct variation. K equals y divided by x. Equation is y equals kx that equals 2x. So in the direct equation, y equals kx. Let's just start with the first questions. In a direct variation, y equals 10 when x equals 2. Write a direct variation equation that shows the relationship between x and y. So when we were working on the direct variation, the equation is k equals y is 10, x is 2. The k equals 5. And the equation in the direct equation is y equals 5 times x. Y equals 5x. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? Option number 1 is option. In the direct variation, y equals 16, when x equals 2, write a direct variation equation that shows the relationship between x and y. So we need to calculate the k first. That is k equals 5 by x. That equals 16 over 2, that is 8. So the equation is y equals kx. So k is 8, the equation is y is 8x. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. In a direct variation, y equals 12, x equals 4. So which is the correct option? The correct option is y equals 3x. Option number 1 is the correct option. In a direct variation, y equals 8, when x equals 2. Write your answer as an equation with y first followed by an equals sign. So which is the correct option? That is y equals 4x. Option number 1 is the correct option. In a direct variation, y equals 9 when x equals 3. Write a direct variation equation that shows the relationship between x and y. So which is the correct option? That is y equals 3x. Option number one is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself better today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Right? Direct equations. A direct equation includes the point 7 and 14 and 5 and n. Find n. So you just have to find a relationship between the points. This is x and this is y. Calculate k from this because both the points include the both the points are on the direct variation. So calculate the k equals y over x. So k is k. Y equals k times x is 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. So the n equals 10. Let's just start with the test questions. Assume that y varies directly with x. If y equals 20, when x equals 4, find y when x equals 1. So calculate the k. K equals y is 20, x is 4, so k equals 5. We need to calculate y. Y equals kx, k is 5, x is 1, so y equals 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. A direct variation includes the point 3, 6, 3, 6, and 2, and right and solve a direct variation equation to find the answer. 4 it is n equals 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Assume that y directly varies with x. If y equals 16 when x equals 2, find y when x equals 1. Option number 2 is the correct option, that equals 8. Our direct variation includes the points 7, 14, 5, 9. Find R and correct option is 10. Option number 2 is the correct option. If y varies directly with x and y equals 10, when x equals 5, find the y when x equals 2. The correct option is 4. Option number 3 is the correct option. Option number one is the correct option. Assume that y varies directly with x. If y equals 15 when x equals 5, find y when x equals 1. Right hand solve a direct relation equation to find the answer. Option number two is the correct option, right? If when x equals 1, y equals 3, okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself for today. Let me just move on to the next lesson. The next lesson is write and solve inverse variation equations. Assume that y varies inversely with x. If y equals 2, when x equals 9, find y when x equals 3. So first thing you need to calculate here is Q, right? So when that relationship is inversely proportional, Q equals y times x, right? Have to do 2 times 9, that is 18. Calculate the y is k over x. So k is 18 and x equals 3 with the y, so y equals 6. So the correct option is 6. So the relationship is inversely proportional, y equals kx. Let's just start with the test questions. Assume that y varies inversely with x. So if y equals 4 when x equals 6, find y when x equals 2. Let's just calculate the k first. K equals y times x. So we are given y equals 4x equals 6. We just use x and y and calculate the k. 6 times 4, that is 24. Now we use k and the given x with the y. Y equals k over x. 4x is 24 divided by 2 is y equals 12. Option number 2 is the correct option. 12 it is. Assume that y varies inversely with x. If y equals 3 when x equals 16, find y when x equals 13. Is 12. X equals 4. Y equals 12. Option number 2 is the correct option. And inverse variation includes the point 2, 3, and 1 and find n. So which is the correct option? It is option number 2 is the correct option. So when x equals 1, n equals 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. And inverse variation includes the whole 2, 4, and 1 and find and write and solve an inverse variation equation to find the answer. So n equals So y equals 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. You need to calculate the k from the given relationship. K equals y times x, right? Y is 2, x is times 2 is 8. Now we have k, right? Like mean that y it is y equals k over x. K is 8, x is 1, y equals 8. That's how x equals y equals 8. Complete the lesson by yourself and today. Let me just go on the next lesson. Identify proportional units. Look at this graph. Is the total cost directly proportional to the number of attendees? Just calculate any values from the graph and calculate the constant of variation k, right? That is y over x 0.75, y over x 0.75. So the proportion, the graph of the proportional relationship is a straight line that passes through the origin. Let's just start with the test questions. If the line is straight and passing through the origin, then that means that is the proportional relationship. Look at the graph. Is the graph directly proportional? No, that is not it, because the graph must be passing through the origin. So no, that is not the directly proportional. Look at this graph. Is that relationship directly proportional, which is the correct option? Yes, it is directly proportional. Look at this graph. Is this a directly proportional relationship? Yes, it is. The correct option is yes. Look at this graph. Is there a directly proportional relationship? Yes, the correct option is yes. Look at this graph. Is this a directly proportional relationship? No, that is not a directly proportional relationship. So the correct option is no. The question is, look at the graph. Is the total distance walked proportional to the number of trips to school? Yes, it is. That is proportional. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself in today. So we were working on grade 9 math. Chapter we're working on is right direct variation equations, right and solve direct variation equations, right and solve inverse variation equations, identify proportional relationships. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lesson. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Teachers are there to help you, or I can write down question in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any.